Well, good day everybody, and welcome back to Survival NS. I'm Jose, and this is my good buddy here, George. And today, we got a tent review. This is the Lynx Alps Mountaineering one-person backpacking tent. It's one of the most sought-after backpacking tents out there. What we're going to do is we're going to unbox it and review it. And in the end, I'll give you the good, the bad, and the ugly of it. Stick around.
I never really know what's going on.
So this is the Lynx Alps Mountaineering one-person backpacking tent. Now, as you can see, it comes with a nice little storage bag with a handle for easy carrying. And the good thing about this storage bag is that you can easily pack it back in once you've taken down your tent, and it fits comfortably in here. A lot of the other storage bags for tents, once you've unpacked it, trying to get it back in takes a Herculean effort. Not with this one. So let's unpack it and see what it comes with. So with this tent, you get 10 stakes, aluminum. You get repair material. You get 4 guy lines, which I'm not sure why they didn't include 5, because you actually need 5, and I'll get to that in a second. You get a little gear loft, which comes with it, with a pouch to put in your cell phone, whatever other little electronics that you may have. You get the tent body, and you get the tent fly. And you get 2 aluminum poles, not fiberglass. Fiberglass are crap poles. They tend to fray and break quite often. These are aluminum, way better. We're expecting a weather advisory tomorrow with high winds and a crap load of rain. So I want to test the durability and the waterproofness of this tent. These aluminum stakes are pretty good for summer. However, in winter and harsh conditions like wind and rain, these will not hold up very well. So if you tend on using a tent during the winter conditions or the late fall conditions, you're going to want to invest on some hardcore stakes. They're a little bit heavier and a little bit more pricey. However, these stakes will keep your tent secured to the ground. The other thing you might want to invest in is a little stake hammer, which also has a hook on the end, so that if you have problems removing your stakes, just hook it and pull it out. Quite simple. Nice little handy tool to have. It also has 1 door and 1 vestibule, which I will demonstrate once I put the fly on. But just to demonstrate how roomy it is inside, I'll jump inside here. So as you can see, there's plenty of room in here. And once you got the vestibule up, you can put all your gear outside, or there is enough room inside that you can store some gear in here. And the height is pretty good, that you can undress and dress in here. And as you can see, there's plenty of space to lay down and go to sleep. So as you can see here, the fly just simply snaps into place here. No fumbling around. Just like that. And pull it tight. Now, one thing that does not come with this tent that it should come with is a footprint or a ground sheet. And for those of you who don't know, what a ground sheet is used for. It's used to place underneath the tent on the outside to keep the floor of your tent from getting damaged from tiny rocks and branches that may poke a hole through the bottom of your tent. And the ground sheet or the footprint prevents that from happening. So with this tent, you'd have to purchase that in an aftermarket item, which will run you between $20 to $30. So as you can see here, the vestibule is quite spacey. You can actually put a backpack in here, and in inclement weather, this is where you would do your cooking. There's your door. There's enough mesh there to let in ventilation. You have a zipper to close the vestibule off when it's inclement. And it has Velcro tabs to keep the flap in so it doesn't flap in the wind, allowing rain to come through the zipper. The other thing I want to mention is I purchased this tent with my own money, so I have no agenda or affiliation with the company. This review is solely based on my experience and what I personally think of when it comes to this tent. Now, the other thing that's noteworthy about this tent is it comes factory seam sealed, which means all the seams are sealed, preventing rain from infiltrating into your tent. Now, Alps Mountaineering classifies this tent as a 3-season tent. However, I'm going to have to disagree with them on this point, because this tent is actually a 3+ season tent. And the reason I say that is because there's not enough mesh to provide enough ventilation during the hot summer months to keep you cool enough. So if you're going to use this tent backpacking in the hot summer months, you're going to find it difficult to sleep at night in it. However, if you're going to use this tent in the spring, fall, or even early winter, you're going to find this tent very adequate. Now, if you're going to use this tent in the summer in higher elevations, it'll work out just fine for you, just not on the lower elevations on a hot day. Now, the other thing I like about this tent is the bathtub floor. Check this out. Look at the length of that bathtub floor, and that's to keep the water out. So that if it's raining and it's driving rain, you have a whole lot more of a bathtub floor to keep the water out. Okay, so let's go over a few of the pros about this tent. First of all, price point. At the time of purchase, this tent was $219 Canadian on Amazon. The other thing is the zippers. I've had no issues with the zippers. They are rock solid. And from what I've heard about waterproofness from researching this tent, is that this thing is bomb-proof when it comes to infiltration of water. The other great thing about this tent is that it comes factory seam sealed, which means this tent is already sealed to prevent infiltration of water, and you don't have to apply any seam sealant. Another great point about this tent is that it is easy, painless setup. In fact, you can pitch this tent up in less than 5 minutes without any problems. And the last pro point is roominess. This tent has quite a bit of room for one person. You can store gear inside, or you can store gear outside here inside the vestibule. Plenty of room inside for sleeping, as well as it is 7 feet 6 inches length and 2 feet 6 inches in width. Okay, so that's the good about the tent. Let's talk about the ugly part. First, with this tent, the fly goes all the way to the ground, and for airflow to come up underneath, is problematic. And that's why I say this is mostly a 3+ season tent. Now for some people, weight on this tent is a problem at 4 pounds 1 ounce. However, in my opinion, I don't consider that a con on this tent, because for what you get, 4 pounds 1 ounce for backpacking into the wilderness is really not that harsh at all, considering the durability and reliability of this tent. And finally, this tent does not come with a footprint, and it should. I believe all tents should come with a footprint. It protects the bottom of your tent from twigs, branches, and rocks from damaging your tent floor. And this tent does not come with it, so you're going to have to purchase an aftermarket footprint, which will run you between $30–40 additional to the cost of your tent. Okay, so that's pretty much my review of this tent. So the question is, would I recommend this tent? Yes, absolutely. In terms of budget friendliness, this is rock solid. For the money, you can't beat it. It is extremely well made, reliable, and dependable. Just use it in a proper environment. If you're going to use it in the summer, in hot, humid weather, you're not going to have a pleasant sleep overnight. But spring, late summer, early fall, or in high altitudes, this tent is perfect. Okay, that's it for the review. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to stake it to the ground, leave it up overnight and through tomorrow, when we're expecting that harsh weather to come in with lots of rain and wind. And we're going to find out whether or not this thing is waterproof and if it can stand up to some of the harsh weather. Well, as you can see, it's not exactly a day at the beach here. However, if you're going to test your tent out against the elements, there aren't any better conditions than these. And I encourage everyone out there, when you purchase your tent for backpacking purposes, this is what you should be doing. Unbox it, set it up in your backyard, and test it out against the elements. Out in the backcountry, miles from civilization, is not the time you want to find out that it is not weather worthy. So we're going to leave the tent up all night long. We're going to come back in the morning. We're going to go inside and check to make sure that indeed it is waterproof. Well, good morning, everybody. It's the morning after the storm. We're heading out to check out how that Alps Mountaineering Lynx 1 tent made out overnight. See you soon. Well, here we are. Let's have a look on the exterior to see how it made out. Wow, I'm impressed, guys. The tent on the exterior held up very well overnight. We had 70+ kilometer-hour winds last night, and we had torrential driving rain, and this thing never even moved an inch. Have a look at it. It's standing as if I just put it up. However, what does it look like inside? Did it stay dry? Let's open her up and have a look. Well, would you look at that? Not a single drop of rain made it through overnight. It is absolutely bone dry in here, folks. So if you're looking for a one-person backpacking tent, this is a tent you're going to want to purchase. Durable and reliable. And in terms of price point, a comparable tent like this one, when you compare it to one of those name brands that are very popular like North Face, it's several $100s cheaper. And it performs just as well. All right, that's it for my review. This is the Alps Mountaineering Lynx 1 tent. If you like this video, hit the thumbs up button. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please hit the subscribe button down below. Helps my channel grow, allows me to bring you a whole lot more videos of this nature. See you next time.